how to practice binomial theorem. What's the problem? Number one.
2 plus x to the 5th power.
2 plus x
to the 5th power.
quantity to the 5th power, right?
X out y.
Oh, 2 plus x. I just changed the problem. That's fine. 2 plus x. And don't worry, I can erase this off this board. All right, so when I go to my Paschal's triangle, what are my coefficients? 4.
It's 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1.
Okay, so 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1. Right? And how did you know to go to this line?
It's the 5th line.
It's the 5th line, and our exponent is to the 5th power, right?
Yeah.
All right, so now we need to plug in our A and B terms. Hold on 1 second. I need to set it up. Make sure you have a plus sign in front of all of your coefficients, excluding your first one, because you have to connect all of these terms together, right? All right, so my A term, wait a minute, let me set up all of my parentheses so that I'll be ready to distribute. This is the easiest part, setting it up. So what is my A term? 2, right? So here, I should have 2 to the what? To the 5th. 2 should be what in this second term?
To the 4th.
To the 4th.
2 to the 3rd.
2 to the 3rd.
2 to the 2nd.
2 to the 2nd.
2 to the 1st.
2 to the 1st.
2 to the
2
0.
to the 0. We all know that anything to the 0 power equals 1. Not 0, but 1. Okay? And then my B term is x, right?
X to the 0.
And x start with 0, and then it increases. X to the 2nd, x to the 3rd, x to the 4th, and x to the 5th. Now, what does these parentheses show? What operation? Multiplications. Can my babies multiply? Can y'all multiply?
Yes.
You better not be a junior or senior and you can't multiply, right? And what is the rule about these exponents? They should all add up to be what? 5, right? So that's like a math way of checking yourself. Like, let me make sure I didn't make an error, okay? So now we just need to go through and multiply. So let's try this. 1 times, what's 2 to the 5th mean? What does that mean?
2 multiplied 5.
Multiply 5 times, right? Well, what's 2 times 2?
4.
Times 2?
8.
Times 2?
16.
Times 2? 32. So we end up with 32, right?
Yes.
1 times 32 times 1, right? Because x to the 0 is 1. So we just have 32 here. All right? So now we need to go to our next term. What's 2 to the 4th power?
16.
2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. That's 4 2's, right? So now we have 16 times 5.
80.
That's 80. 16 times 5, that's 50 plus 30, which is 80. So plus 80.
X to the 4th.
X to the first. So it's just 80x. Okay? Because that 4,
I'm taking the wrong X.
you're taking the wrong exponents. Exactly. You should turn your paper landscape style so you can write across. All right, so let's go to this next term here. We have 2 to the 3rd power, right?
Yes.
2 times 2 is?
4.
4 times 2 is?
8.
And that 8 times 10 is what?
80.
80. So we have plus 80, and we have x to the what power?
Second.
X to the 2nd. All right. Anybody confused on what I'm doing right now? No, we just straight multiplying, right? All right. 2 squared. 2 times 2 is what?
4.
4 times 10.
40.
So we have plus 40. X to the what?
3rd.
X to the 3rd. Okay. 2 to the 1 is just simply 2, right? 2 times 5, 10. So we have 10x to the 4. Perfect. And then this last term here, we have 2 to the 0, which is 1, times 1. 1 times 1 is?
1.
And 1 times x to the 5th is?
X to the 5th.
X to the 5th plus x to the 5th. So, the only thing I would ask is that you write this in descending order. What is descending order?
Increase.
Decreasing what?
By exponent.
Decreasing by exponent, right? So all I'm going to do is take this and write it, flip it, right? Just remember the sign that's in front of it is the first name. It goes with that coefficient. But we don't really have to worry because all of these terms are what? Positive. So my final answer is just simply what?
80.
No.
Okay.
Oh, yes. What is the question asking us?
what is the term of, what is the coefficient of x squared?
What is the coefficient of x squared?
Oh, x squared? Yeah, it's 80.
80.
So my final answer is just 80. So we had to do all of that just to tell them 80.
But where I didn't even know you were supposed to do it like that. I know how to do the.
And that's the way that you don't want to do it. Because when this is to the 9th power, you're going to have more room for errors if you expand and multiply. And it's going to take you about 30 minutes.
I got
Okay.
a question. Do you take the when you multiply and all, you take the exponent of the x, right?
Give me point to something.
Like how I got the exponent mixed up.
Well, yes, you have to. This exponent goes on my A.
Okay.
This exponent goes on my B.
So
what I want to do, and I said we was going to do this last week, I'm going to give everybody 2 color pencils. And you're going to write your coefficients in your regular pencil, and then 1 color for your A term, 1 color for your B term. And that'll help. Okay?
So that help me know which exponent.
Yes, that'll help you. You see how I'm color coding it? I knew
Yeah.
2 to the 4th power. So I have to do that first.
Yeah.
So don't multiply. Order operation says parentheses, exponent, later comes multiplication division, right?
Yeah.
So you're not supposed to distribute this 5, because if I say 5 times 10, 5 times 2, that'll give me 10. 10 to the 4th power, that'll give me 10,000. But here is really 2 to the 4th, and that answer times 5. So you have to work out your exponents first. Okay?
All right.
All righty.